there is no way we are going to achieve the Big Four. There is no way we are going to achieve Vision 2030. There is no way we are going to achieve Agenda 63 by the AU if we are not effectively putting our efforts where they are most needed, namely stamping out gender-based violence by 2030 as we have agreed, fighting teenage pregnancies like hell, and ensuring that we now tackle the resurgence of HIV/AIDS in the country. So, my friends, this is how I suggest we proceed from the point of view of collaboration with INGAO. Number one, effective now, I want us to mainstream the triple threat as part of our national administration functions. So, what that means, Mr. Osia, as the team leader of this team, is that effective from next quarter, we spend time between now and then to develop a template for reporting on this, so that when we receive security reports, we also receive reports on the triple threat from every county, because county commissioners report regularly. It is going to be our responsibility to report, and because we are going to cascade this down the structures that we work with, the deputy county commissioners, the ACCs, the chiefs, the assistant chiefs. Number two, I think we are going to do this by mainstreaming training and capacity building to tackle the triple threat in our programs. Effective now, the teams we are taking to the Kenya School of Leadership in Mount Kenya, from the next team that goes in, the team that we are taking, the chiefs and assistant chiefs we are taking to APTC, they now must have a course, they must go through a program on these issues and how we are going to reduce them. That each one of us administratively, for all administrative actions we are going to take, we must base our focus now on the triple threat. This is what I mean. The administrative action of banning this Komatanga, which helped us reduce the numbers, is one now we need to carry out across the country. Now is the time to look at some of those practices that are not helpful and fight them with all the energy we will master, so that we address our people. That's why administrative action is necessary for all of us, wherever you work in the country. Administrative action against these kinds of things like irrelevant vigils that are not required. I am not aware, and please, county commissioners, particularly, listen to me very carefully on this matter. I am not aware that the Minister for Health has lifted a ban on some of those actions he took, because the Public Health Act gives the minister powers to impose certain restrictions which he imposed during the corona period. I don't think the minister has lifted some of those things. I know we have Al-Shabaab and the threat of terrorism that is our priority focus. I know that we have sometimes violence brought about by drug trafficking, consumption of illicit brews, and so on. I know that in some urban areas we are also dealing with some levels of petty crime and theft. To that list today, I am adding the triple threat. That is how we are going to. People meet after cases of gender-based violence and have kangaroo courts. You know that we have had these discussions before. And today, because we are not alone, we also have visitors. There are some things we are not going to say when the visitors are around. But you know how we do this thing. We have sacked chiefs who have tolerated this kind of nonsense, whether who listen to those kangaroo courts after children have been raped and so on. And you know, you have the powers, the regional commissioners and the county commissioners. There isn't a regional commissioner here who can say that when they have fired a chief and they have asked us to proceed, we have disagreed with them. You have the powers. There isn't a county commissioner here who can say that when they have recommended the dismissal of a chief or an assistant chief on account of some of these things, we have disagreed with you. And I encourage you today to be even much more ruthless, because if we are going to achieve our results, we are going to be very ruthless on this matter. So chiefs and assistant chiefs who tolerate those kangaroo courts after children have been raped in the name of some cultures, we are going to exchange a cow or a camel. And that time, a young girl has been raped, probably infected. You are exchanging the life of a child with a camel. What kind of people are we? We are not going to tolerate that. I'm happy. My colleagues, county commissioners who work in some of these areas, you know we have dismissed chiefs before. We have tolerated this. Wafula, we must dismiss more as we go forward and make sure this is obeyed, as it were.